You're watching Pulse for the 6th of February and it's time for some Guild Wars 2 news. Yes, I'm finally starting my Guild Wars 2 coverage and I will probably be doing these episodes in much the same way that I do the Dota 2 beta news right now. The episodes will be pretty short and they'll only cover the really big stuff in detail. I will, however, as I always do, link you to absolutely everything that's out there at the moment, so don't forget to check the description below the video. In this week's episode, we're just going to have a quick look at ArenaNet and the Guild Wars 2 dev team's plans for the Year of the Dragon, a few Guild Wars 2 beta updates, a possible leaked login screen, some pre-order and release date rumors, and more. Let's get straight to the news. First up, a couple of weeks ago, on the first day of the Year of the Dragon, the Guild Wars 2 or ArenaNet guys let us know what their plans were for this coming year. I will tell you now that everything that they mentioned here is pretty exciting. The biggest thing and the first thing that caught everyone's eye was the fact that they were pretty openly talking about the beta of Guild Wars 2. Yes, they said that they recently finished their first closed beta test and they're now ready to hold progressively larger events. In February, they're going to start inviting select press to participate in beta testing, and in March and April they'll aggressively ramp up the size of their beta test event so that many of us will have the chance to participate as well. This of course all leads to the release of Guild Wars 2 later this year. I think a lot of people are saying that they're expecting it around June, July, but we'll have to wait and see about that. We're going to speak a little bit more about the Guild Wars 2 release date and some rumors that have been going around about it in a couple of minutes. So that said, the start of this year, the start of the Year of the Dragon, is going to be pretty exciting for us. Not only because of Guild Wars 2, there are some other big name titles coming out in the next month or two, but we're here to talk about Guild Wars 2. Now that leads me quite conveniently into the next piece of news, but before I move on, I will mention that you can check this post out for yourself in the links below this video and see what else Mike O'Brien, the ArenaNet founder and president, had to say about the Year of the Dragon. That obviously also includes the guys at ArenaNet's plans for this year and Guild Wars 2, so you can check that out along with a couple of other related posts below. But now, time to talk about what you're all no doubt here for, the Guild Wars 2 beta. ArenaNet has started sending out invites for the upcoming press beta event for Guild Wars 2. Now, I'm not sure if it's actually up and running just yet, but a few big press sites were able to announce their participation and the fact that they actually received invites. Among the lot of them, as you can see on your screens right now, are sites like Destructoid, IGN, Curse, and MMORPG.com. So I'm pretty sure we're going to get some top tier coverage once they're allowed to actually talk about it. And looking at those comments right now, it seems like February the 20th is the big day that the NDA is going to be lifted. So we'll have to wait and see. That is definitely going to be one that I'm going to be marking on my calendar. We have, however, been given some clarification about all of this. Martin Kirstein and Eric Flanham both gave us a few points and told us how things are happening, how things are going down. They said they just want to get a few things straight before people start freaking out and things get totally out of hand. They only started sending out a few invites and they only just started doing so. They said that they're not going to lift the NDA right now, only selected members of the press will be allowed to talk about their gaming experience, and that obviously the people that mentioned that they were invited are not the only ones who were invited. A lot of people were complaining that no true Guild Wars fans got into the beta, and they assured us that that's not the case. They said that they don't have nearly enough friends or family to even fill a modest closed beta, and that plenty of real fans of the game have and will play in the Guild Wars 2 beta. That does sound quite hopeful, and while I would enjoy the big sites coverage like IGN or Destructoid, I'd also like to see what a hardcore Guild Wars 1 player thinks of Guild Wars 2, because I personally really did enjoy Guild Wars 1 and I'd like to see how the two compare. I know a lot has changed, but I'd like to know if it still has that Guild Wars feel. As one last mention on this topic, we were told that we might not even see the general NDA lifted in February, and they never really mentioned any specifics about that. We do, however, still know that they're going to be ramping this up, and there will be a slightly more open beta at some point in the coming months. So that's something to be excited about at least. You can, as always, read more about this below from a couple of different websites. Now, as one quick, and I think interesting mention, it looks like the Guild Wars 2 beta sign-in or login screen has been leaked. This is it. What do you guys think? I know this is not really a very good screenshot of it, but hey, we work with what we've got. Do you guys think it's real or fake? Let me know below. I think it looks pretty cool and I can't wait to see that popping up on my screen asking me for my username and password. Now in the last big piece of news we're going to talk about, recently Amazon.de posted an update on their pre-order status of Guild Wars 2 on their website. They speculated that the game would be releasing on June the 30th of 2012. June the 30th sounds really good to me, but sadly we have actually been told that this is just a guess. The official Guild Wars 2 Twitter account said that the release date of Guild Wars 2 is still to be announced, and that Amazon likes to guess at release dates to encourage customers to put money down. It is a pretty clever strategy if you ask me. But still, what do you guys think about that guess? Do you think that with the beta happening over the next 3 months or so, that June the 30th could be a feasible release date? Could we even see the game releasing before June the 30th? That would be absolutely amazing, to say the least. So you guys can let me know what you think. Do you think it'll be before or after June the 30th? It's pretty interesting because big games like Diablo 3, for instance, also still don't have a release date, and that's been in production for quite some time too. If Guild Wars 2 was to release before Diablo 3, do you think that would take a bit of wind out of Blizzard's sails where that's concerned? I'm not really sure myself, but I think it's something that both these companies need to consider. With that done, we're going to move on to the Guild Wars 2 smalls, or extras. I will also mention that the screenshots you've been looking at on your screens for the past couple of minutes have actually been taken from all the posts linked in these smalls. So if you want to find those screenshots and have a look at them all in full size, then you can just browse the posts and you'll find them all scattered throughout. First up in the smalls, check a post out on the official ArenaNet blog titled The Savage Pride of the Jotun. Then in a couple of different posts there are some screenshots from a new unannounced PvP zone, pets, armor and much more. Well worth checking out. A couple of editorials, how ArenaNet's story and game design will help foster the best community. Then the debate over female armor portrayal, and this one, a pretty touching one for you on your first day. This is actually about Ruby's first day at ArenaNet. Yes, she's an incredibly big name in the Guild Wars community, and I wish her all the best work in there. Check out an English transcription of a recent interview with Jeff Grubb, read a post about mounts in Guild Wars 2. Then you can have a look at a techno remix of the Gamescom Guild Wars 2 trailer music. And lastly, also right here on YouTube, Ghosts of Ascalon Episode 1, as read by Lashen. This is an audiobook style reading of the freely available part of Ghosts of Ascalon. And apparently if enough people like it and say that they like it, then the whole book will be read to us. So check that out if you're interested. Sadly, that's all I have for you in the Guild Wars 2 news this week. I will be doing these episodes as often as there's interesting news to report on, so keep checking back here for them. They will probably be coming up pretty frequently in the next couple of weeks because there will probably be a lot to talk about. So with that said, like the video, favorite it, share it with your friends and subscribe. Most importantly though, happy Guild Wars 2 beta.